What's up, guys? We're here with Ben Smallin. And what did you do today?
I'm playing my Voiceless deck, so
Oh,
we
yep.
we in there, bro. We
Yep.
always win.
Blue cards. All right, bro. Let's see this deck list.
Yeah.
And if you can explain some of the cards.
Yeah. So like, story time for this deck is like so. I literally picked up all these cards on the day of sneak. Don't know how. So crazy. Literally, like me and my friend pulled two Novox on like the first wave, and I like straight up bought the third one like immediately. I'm like, okay, I guess we're playing this deck today. So I played the deck and felt like I did pretty well. And yeah, this is the list I've been on. Been testing for like a bit over a month now. So and I really like the list so far. So maybe like a few minor adjustments, but otherwise I think it's pretty solid. So to start. 3 Divine, the Trias. Just like a quick explanation of these. Obviously, this is like a 1-card starter. But I know a lot of us in OCG have been like starting to try and cut this. And that's something I tested for a long time, but this card's just like way too broken. Like I think you just have to play it. Like it has so much utility, and like being able to go into this, like this gives you Chaos Angel access, which does come up on occasion, and I think that's like pretty important. So, and then 3 Novox. So this is another one of your 1-card starters. Again, like just mandatory cards. One thing I have noticed with this deck is so you do have 6 normals in the deck. A lot of time this isn't a normal summon, but again, like if you get a weaker hand, you do want to be able to normal summon it. And so like to counteract that, like for clarification, this list is 42. So that way the math just works out to where you shouldn't be drawing multiple normal summons a lot of times, so they don't get too clunky, which is good. And then yeah, 3 Saphira. Low key, the more I test this card, I just realized like, wait, this card's just like pre-prep, but like better. This card's like a cheat code. It's actually just insane. And actually, that card's actually low-key better than pre-prep because it dumps the ritual spell, which like actually like protects your stuff on the next turn, which is wild. And then Old Man, like people who know how to use this card properly are like the people that are gonna win on this deck because this card the nuts. Like this card is what it's play through Droll like so often. It's super crazy. 2 Skull Guardian. There was a world I tried to play 3 of this just to play through Droll more easily, but it got really clunky. And like once you just know the lines in this deck, you actually just play through Droll like way more often than you give yourself credit for. But yeah, 2 of this card's good. It's just like a good balance. I don't think you need any more than that. And then 1 Starvis and 1 Pendulum Graph. Low key. So I wasn't playing this card for a while. Comes up a lot in like really weird matchups and stuff. So I'm glad I have it in there. And it's nice because like people that know how to play this matchup, what they'll do if you have the Old Man to play around this, they'll start with Diabell Star because like this using its effects to chain to Wanted or the Old Man to chain to Wanted, and then something this is like so much pressure because now they're gonna summon Diabell, send one, and it banishes, so they just go -2, which is like super crazy. So like if they just hard start with the Diabell, then you just go for this because if they set their Sinful, then you just have a counterplay to that as well. So. And then like this comes up against like weird stuff like I don't know, like Flu is like something I've been playing against a lot. So like it'll come up against weird decks like that. And then hand traps, play 3 Nib. It's like best hand trap of the format in my opinion. 3 Ash. 3 Droll. I think this card's like kind of weird this format, but in our list we're playing 15 hand traps. So I actually think like having this in conjunction with another hand trap is really broken, but having like by itself is a lot weaker. So, but like in this deck, we should be consistently seeing 2, like about 60% of the time. So this card gets infinitely better in conjunction. And if you're gonna see 1 hand trap, like a lot of these aren't good by themselves, but this one's like does enough sometimes by itself to where it like manages the board. Maybe not so much against Fire King a lot of the time, but like especially against like the pure Snake Eye variant and like a lot of other decks, like sometimes the one will just get you there. And then 3 Veilor and then like 3 Imperm. Like, yeah, pretty standard, like 15 hand trap lineup. The strongest boards this deck does is like when you just full combo and have like 2 of your non-engine hand traps, like I just don't think you like ever lose any of those games. It's like way too insane. And then for like the voiceless spell cards, we play 3 barrier and 2 ritual spell. Yeah, this one you have to play 3 of. It's just like the best. Low key, it's probably like the best card of the deck. Like just carries everything because having your stuff not being able to be targeted is just like way too insane. And then the ritual spell. There's a world I actually think about sometimes bumping this up to 3, because hard drawing it is just like really insane under draw. And then a lot of the time too, like if you hard draw it and you have like Saphira, it's really good because you get the 1 in the grave, and then Saphira sends the second one. So now if you're able to activate the trap on the first turn, you're able to put one of these back to be able to get your Old Man, and then you still have the second one in the grave. Or if you just hard draw Old Man or search it, you put the 1 back and still have the second one to protect your shield the next turn. So. Yeah, 3 is definitely a consideration for sure. And then 3 prosperity. There's a world where this is extravagance for a while, but I just like the flexibility of this to be able to again play around troll because sometimes you need your first action to be able to set up like Skull Guardian plus Novox, where like this is also better post side because like this deck like very commonly side stuff like summon limit. So there's a lot of broken cards that can play going first. So I just want to dig for those really insane cards after game 1 more often. So, but I get Dark Knight Extra because like again it's a +1, so that's just stupid. But speaking of +1s, we play a 3 pre-prep.
The QC?
The QCs are crazy, Loki. Yeah. Like, you feel so powerful activating this card, Loki. Like, honestly, I don't know what the win rate is when you go first and resolve this card, but, what do you think? It probably has to be, like, 80% at least, right? Like...
It's got to be higher than that. If you're going first, this card lets you play around droll.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Like, there's so many games you'll access...
Extra spell for the old man. That's really relevant.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. Like, I've had so many games where, like... I'll like open this with Diviner and they'll be like, all right, Diviner effect. And they'll like negate it. And you do this, it resolves. They draw you and you're like, cool, I already had no Fox in hand, and you just keep playing the game. Like that's just so stupid. And then one of the trap. Like it's pretty standard. You have to play the one trap. So yeah, so 42 main. And then the extra. I think the extra is pretty solved. There's like a couple like nice techs I want to play, but this has felt really good so far. So 1 Link Rainbow, 1 Anima, and 1 Almars for Link 1s. This we play specifically to get Nahida for like the Fire King and the Rescue Ace matchups, but that deck's free, so we probably don't even need it to be honest. 2 Dynamondo. I'm gonna low-key play 3 of this so I don't miss this card because I'm very stupid because there's a lot of lines like that come up if you play it in the nib where they'll nib you when you bring this out. And then sometimes you can push for a second ritual summon with the token and summon the second one so you can reset your board again. Yeah, honestly, just never banish just off prosperity, either copy. Like, or sometimes the second one comes up in the grind. Like that card is just low-key insane. Like just shuffle back like Island or like so many other cards or like Kieran. Like it's just so nice to deal with that type of stuff. 1 SP, Stay Rich, Charmers. This is for the mirror. This is for the fire decks. This is like kind of for the fire decks, but also just like Snake Eye decks in general. Like anything that plays darks, because it's just like I don't know. This is easy to make. And then we use all those Climate Celine and Nexus Code. This line comes up like way more than I see people do it, and I like really don't understand why. Like there was literally like I think it came up like twice the other day where I was playing against like Rescue Ace, and literally they like set 4 on their board and everything, and I just keep pushing their board, and it gets a simplified game state where like I don't have like a lot of engine left to play with, and they don't have any traps left set, but I have enough to climb into this plus a Skull Guardian and just kill them that turn. So like even sometimes you'll have like old man this and Skull Guardian, and like that's like enough damage to like kill him like twice low key. Like that shit's crazy. And then that 1 Chaos Angel. It's Chaos Angel. It comes up sometimes, not a lot, but enough to like warrant playing. Typhon. Again, this doesn't really come up that much, but like this is a nice option to have. And then 1 Entis and 1 Arclight. Again, these are just your Diviner targets, so they're pretty insane, and they're just like infinitely better because they're QCR. So, side deck I'm not gonna show off too much just because like a lot of it's like locals dependent, and I'm like still trying to figure out a lot of it myself because again we're literally like a day after the pre-release of the set, so there's just a lot in the format that's not really solidified. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about it, like just feel free to let me know, and yeah, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.